Hi, in this video today I'm going to show you how you can change over the adaptive triggers on your PlayStation 5 DualSense controller. So this one here, I'm going to be changing over the left hand side. You can see here it says L2, but the same process will apply if you're doing it over the right hand side. It's just different ribbon cables on different sides of the board, that's all. But it's nice and straightforward to do. You will need a couple of little tools to help you along. You will need some kind of like plastic pry tools and a crosshead screwdriver as well, a little Phillips screwdriver. So let's get started. First of all, we have to take off this little faceplate here. So I'm going to use my nail. You can also use a pry tool to undo these bits at the bottom. And then I'm just going to work my way up. I'm not just bending them straight from here because they might crease or break. I'm working my way up bit by bit, just popping them out as I go along. When you get to here, you can just lift them up from here and then pop them out over the thumbsticks, and you can see it's hinged from these bits in here. When we do that, it uncovers two screws here and here. We also have two screws hidden beneath the L1 and the R1 button. So get your pry tool, go down on the trigger to give yourself a little bit of room, go in here and just lever upwards, and you will hear them pop out like so. And that uncovers another two screws here and here. So let's undo the screws. Also make sure that your controller is off and disconnected from the PlayStation 5. So when you buy this module, hopefully then if you've got problems with your adaptive triggers, your L1 or L2 button, then this will fix the issue. These screws are all the same size, so you don't need to keep them separate. Now, when the four screws are undone, we need to start lifting this up here. There is another little catch just up here, so get your pry tool, work your way in, and just try to separate that catch you heard there. It just, well, my pry tool just broke. 1 second now. Let's use this one. There we go. You see there, separated there. And let's do the same on this side. There we go. And now we need to undo these two little clips here. So keep the pressure out a little bit and then just get this pry tool, open it up here and also here. And now you will see that the back will come off. It's going to hinge away from the top bit here, like so. Okay, don't worry about that plastic. That was just from the tip of my pry tool. It's better to use plastic than metal though. Metal is stronger, but you can damage the plastics. Right, okay, so now we have to disconnect the battery. So I'm just going to lift the battery out from here. It unclips from this little, there's a little protective bit here just to keep the wires underneath. And then we're just going to gently lift that out, like so. Right, now unfortunately to remove this here, we do have to take it all apart. We have to remove this front faceplate because there's a couple of screws holding it in. So to begin with, I'm just going to undo this little screw here. And there's a little ribbon cable just here. We need to undo all the ribbon cables, and they're all kind of friction fit, so they're all push fit. There's no lids on them. So I'm just going to gently pinch that and take it out. And that will remove this one here. Let me just put that back in its home. Yeah, it's just one of the microphones. You can use tweezers if you feel more comfortable doing this. I'm just using my fingers. Now, we need to take the circuit board out. There is actually a little clip just here, so we can put a little bit of pressure on the thumbsticks here and move that clip in, and that will release that side, and a bit of pressure on this thumbstick, and there's another little clip just here by the battery connector. So we just move it out and a little bit of pressure on the thumbstick, and now this is loose. Don't just yank this out because we have got little wires going off to the haptic feedback. There we go, we are now free. So next thing we need to undo is these two silver screws, this screw here and this screw here, and then that will allow the faceplate to be removed. So So obviously keep the screws separate. The metal screws are different than the black ones. These silver ones are different. And now this whole thing will lift out. There we go. Now I'm going to keep it like that because if I turn that upside down, some of the buttons may fall out. But this gives you a nice opportunity, if you want it to take the buttons out and then clean them. Okay, so I'm going to put that to one side. And now we're working on this one here. So turn it over. Don't worry about that, that's just a little speaker. We'll put that in at the end. And you see that we have 2 screws here. So undo these 2 screws and the whole module for the triggers will come out then. There you go, you can see that drops away. So you can recycle that or keep it for spares. And this is the one we're going to be putting in. So it's going to go in this way here, so the motor is going to be going into this hole. And we just need to hold it in place because we need to do up these 2 screws. So line up the 2 screws again. Right, so that is the adaptive triggers, the L1 and L2 button swapped over. Now we have to put it back together again. So it is really the reversal of what we've just done, but there's a few fiddly bits, like for example this ribbon cable here has to fit through that little hole here. So let's line that up now. You see, it always wants to go above it, so just line it up here and it will go through. It's got to go through that hole. And now we can do up the 2 silver screws and then the 2 black screws here and here. Right, so when they're all done up, now all the buttons are back in place. Just make sure that they still feel like they're in the correct place and all pressable. Right, now we need to put the speaker back in. When you put the speaker back in, make sure that the 2 prongs that stick up, you can see these 2 are higher, go to the right hand side as you're looking down at the controller. If you're unsure if the controller's upside down, just make sure the 2 prongs line up with these 2 bits on the circuit board, these 2 gold pins, yeah? Right, so now we need to put this in here. We just need to make sure that all the ribbon cables are out of the way. So that one there, that one, that one and that one. And now we can clip it in here and here again. And now that is in its home. So with the ribbon cables, I just used a nice hard plastic to push them in. This one has a line on it, so you can push it up until it goes onto the line. All the others have ears, so you just push them in until the ears go to the bottom, like so. And this little one here. Now we're going to put this back on. We can have the wires, these wires here, above this bit and this bit here. So it keeps it out of the way. Like that. And now we need to make sure that this ribbon cable goes into that little connector. This one I find is the hardest. You might find it easy if you use tweezers. Right, there we go, that's fully home now. Drop a little screw here. Put the battery back in with the black wire up towards the top of the controller. Don't put it in the wrong way round and it just clips into place. Like so. And do the flat side of the battery, not the curved side here, but the flat side here. Like that, and then you can tuck those wires just underneath that little black tab there to keep them out of the way when you put the back cover back on. Right, so that's that. Now all we have to do is put this on here. We're going to put that side on first, so it kind of hinges down from the top, and it will just click into place like so. We now need to do up the 4 screws here, 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 and here. You can go the wrong way to begin with until it gives a little bit, and that means it will go through the same thread that it did originally, because you're only screwing into plastic. If you keep doing this, eventually you'll strip out the threads. Sometimes you hear a click when you do it the wrong way. Now to put this on, we have to put these ears in first, so angle them like so, put them into the empty triangles up here, and then they will just slot into place like so, and it will just keep on clipping until everything is nicely home. When it comes to these bits here, obviously line up L1 with L2 and just drop them in until it feels like they're in the correct place. Obviously you can see there that's the wrong way round. R1 isn't read the same as R2, so flip it round. There we go. And now just click it down like that and down. You can now see that they are replaced, and hopefully your controller should work again. And now hopefully the problem that you're going to be having with your L1, your L2, or your R1 and your R2 and your adaptive triggers will now be gone, because you've replaced this bit here. If the problems remain, then it could be an issue with the ribbon cable, or it could be an issue with something on the main board. So that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.